Can your business survive the owner vacation test? Very simple test that any M&A advisor is going to put your business through to see if you can sell your business. If you want to see if your business can survive the owner vacation test, click the link in the description where we can have a confidential conversation about your business exit so you can achieve maximum value. So what is the owner vacation test? An owner vacation test is a very well-known test that M&A advisors put a business through, and different M&A advisors have different ways at looking at an owner vacation test. In fact, that's incorrect. Different M&A advisors don't have different ways at looking at an owner vacation test. They apply different lengths of time to the owner vacation test. So what is the owner vacation test? The owner vacation test is that how long can the owner or owners of a business stay away from a business without that business falling apart. That's the first level of the test. The second layer of the owner vacation test that M&A advisors put a business through is that how long can the owner or owners stay away from the business and the business stops growing. The reason why the first one is the baseline is because what M&A advisors are trying to identify is the business relying on you to ensure very basic operations of the business. Because if the owner goes away from the business, and let's take a look at the times before we go into the test itself. Some M&A advisors only apply 2 weeks. Some M&A advisors apply 1 month. I like to apply at least 6 weeks to a business to see that whether it can pass the owner vacation test. Now, while I respect all M&A advisors and what length of time that they want to apply to their owner vacation test, I don't think 2 weeks cuts it at all, because 2 weeks is such a short amount of time to apply to a business to see whether it falls apart or whether it stops growing. Number one, you can't apply the second level, the growth factor, to a business in 2 weeks, because even with the owner being there, even with the founders being in the business, there could be zero growth for a 2 week period. But then, of course, after 2 weeks, the business continues to grow again, because there's many short-term factors that can apply businesses. That's even if they're not seasonal. If they're seasonal, then there's a whole different ballgame there. But even if a business is pretty consistent throughout the year, 2 weeks is too short a time to see whether a business stops growing. Even a month for me is too short. And the reason why a month is too short is because in a business, a cycle normally lasts a certain amount of time. Now, I'm a business owner, multiple business owner, so I know that the smallest cycle that a business goes through is 6 weeks. That's the smallest cycle that a business goes through. That 6 weeks basically means that an entire month has gone by, the month end has happened, and the new month has started. The reporting in any good business needs to be done for that month period, and you'll be able to see what happens in that month. And in the 2 weeks, what happens if there was a bad month? Are they able to come up with a plan for the first 2 weeks to ensure that the bad month doesn't happen again? If the month was good, then can they continue the trajectory or in fact even double down in the second month? And that's why 6 weeks is the minimum time period that I like to apply to an owner vacation test. A true owner vacation test and the longest minimum cycle is 18 months before a business, because that means an entire year has passed, a year end has happened, and then the next year has started, and therefore a longer term plan can be executed over a longer period of time. And you can see that over an 18-month period. But no M&A advisor is really going to be applying that to a business who wants to sell in the next 12 to 24 months. If you're engaging an M&A advisor who's going to be working with you 3 to 5 years before you want to sell your business, then they'll start looking at the 18-month cycle. And that's where you can really get huge impact on valuation of your business if you're working on that kind of owner vacation test cycle of 18 months or even longer. Now, coming back to the basic numbers, an owner vacation test is looking, is your business going to crash if you step away from the business for 6 weeks? Many business owners, unfortunately, would answer yes to that question. And therefore, that shows that your business is way too reliant on you, and you need to do what I call an operational exit. Because if you don't, then your business valuation is going to suffer from what I call the founder tax. When any business buyer is looking at your business to acquire, they're looking at how reliant is this business on the owner. And if the owner steps away for 6 weeks and the business crashes, that's not a business, it's a job. The owner basically has a glorified job. So that's why the minimum, test that an acquirer is going to be looking at your business is that this business should continue to operate successfully without the owner being there for at least 6 weeks. Because if you can answer yes to that question, yes, it does operate successfully for at least 6 weeks without the business saying that, then the conversation is right. This is a business to be looked at further. Because when I'm talking to most buyers, and I'm a business buyer myself as well, is that we reject 95% of businesses that come our way because it doesn't pass that basic owner vacation test, that the business will just crash and burn without the owner being there for a 6 weeks period. Now, if you do pass that, then the second thing needs to be looked at is that will this business continue to grow if the business owner was to step away from the business? If the answer is yes, then your business, number one, is in the top 10% of all businesses. And this is despite what industry it may be in, because of course, if in the time of filming this video, 2026, if your business is in AI, then you're going to be growing, right? If as long as your business doesn't collapse after 6 weeks of not being there, so your business is going to be growing. But regardless of what industry it is in, can your business continue to grow if you were to step away? If the answer is yes, then there are going to be a lot of business buyers who are interested in your business. There's private equity firms, there's other businesses who are really going to be looking at your business and say, right, this is something that we seriously want to take a look at. And they're going to put serious offers on the table. And that's where you want to be if you want to be selling your business, right? You need serious offers from serious buyers. You want to have serious offers from buyers who can actually complete on the deal. Because there are many deals which fall apart at the 11th hour because the buyer is unable to complete the deal. And there is something called owner remorse, which also kills a lot of business acquisitions or business sales to go ahead with, because the owner comes to the 11th hour and they decide they don't want to sell. But that's your decision, right? You ultimately, the asset is yours. You can decide to pull away from any business sale anytime you want. But if you do want to proceed with the business sale and you're really serious about it, and you're not going to be pulling out the 11th hour, you want to make sure that the buyer's not going to be pulling out the 11th hour. I need to be selling your business to the right type of buyer, ideally a business which has already bought a business previously, or at least has the ability to purchase a business because they've got the right team in place, or a private equity firm who's always buying businesses, on a monthly basis. So to ensure that your business passes the owner vacation test, click the link in the description. We'll put your business through the owner vacation test to ensure that you do have a sellable business, and not only a sellable business, but a business which can sell for maximum value. So continue watching videos on this channel, and I'll see you on the next video.